I am not okay. But it makes me happy. Hi, it's thicc. So this is going to be a new video type for me, I guess. Excuse all the background noise, by the way. We have both the washing machine and the dishwasher going right now. Yeah, I just wanted to do a short little intro clip because I'm participating in Prioryathon, which is hosted by Imi. Well, as the name may hint, it's just a read-along for The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon, and I figured why not participate since I just finished both Honey Girl and The Cousins, so I needed something new to read anyway, and this has been waiting on my shelf forever. I got this as a gift from my friend Kat, might have been like 2 years ago already. The goal is to read Priory within maybe a month or a bit longer, maybe 2 months. I'll put the dates here, how long the readathon lasts, since I don't actually remember and I didn't bother checking. But basically we have 2 weeks, I think, to read each part of the book, which I have marked with my cute little post-its here. And it's actually supposed to start in September and it's still August, so I'm getting a bit of a head start, but since the part 1 is so much longer than the others, I figured it's not a bad idea since I'm pretty slow. Yeah, I'll try to film little updates here and there of how the book is going. I've only read the first chapter so far and it seems pretty interesting. I'm going in pretty blind. I pretty much only know that Priory has dragons and lesbians and that's it. So should be fun. It's a thick boy. It's I can fit my arm between the covers. I'll keep you updated on how this is going and if I'm staying on schedule at all. I'll try my best. So it's the 30th now, which is the first official day of the Prioryathon. So I should be officially starting the book now, but I'm already 50 pages in because I took my little head start, which is a good thing because the first part of the book, which I should get read by the September 12th, so in 2 weeks, it's 250 pages long, which is basically a whole book. And it's just a tiny chunk of the actual thing. Hi.
Hello.
What was I even saying? Something about the first part of the book being really long. But yeah, I did the math, and since I have just a bit under 200 pages left of the first part, I only need to read 14 pages a day to make it by the deadline. So it's doable, I think. The book is just a bit slow to read because there's lots of information, and so it just takes a while to process what I'm reading. It seems interesting so far. I realized it's been a week since I did any kind of update on Priory. So I still have, it's Tuesday now, I still have until Sunday to finish part 1 and I'm 13 chapters in now. So that's 150 pages. I still have another 100 pages to go. But I think that's doable since I'm actually really liking the book so far. It's interesting. Just took me a while to recalibrate my brain for reading fantasy again because it's been a long time since I've read straight up high fantasy. I don't even remember the last time I did that, especially super dense fantasy like that, since there's a lot of world building and names and politics to remember. I think it's just balanced enough that I can keep up. I really like all the main characters so far. Especially Ead, I don't know how to pronounce her name. The Finnish in me wants to just go Ead, but it might be something completely else. I know people have been talking on the Discord about the correct pronunciations, but I feel there's multiple versions and I don't know. Yeah, Ead and Sabran are a really interesting character dynamic. I look forward to seeing where that goes because I know they are going to be a couple. I think I read almost too much into the tension between them and it's fun. So Ead and Sabran are in the west and the other part of the story takes place in the east, and I'm really curious where that's gonna go to because east has dragons, talking dragons. That's fun, and they actually like their dragons, so that's a bonus. And also, I think his name was Loth. I'm really curious where his storyline is gonna go, since he was sent to this enemy kingdom because he was too close to the queen or something, and the queen's spymaster didn't like that, so he was like, okay, off you go. So he's probably pretty screwed, so that storyline is gonna be really interesting too. Nicholas is a dick, but his side of the storyline is also interesting because stuff is happening. I'm trying to not go too much into detail so I don't spoil a bunch of stuff by accident in case someone watching hasn't read Priory and wants to. But yeah, basically I'm just really enjoying the book so far. I think I'm actually gonna read a little bit now since I didn't read last night because I was tired. Which turns out to be was total bullshit because I didn't manage to fall asleep until 6 a.m. So I could have easily read. I'll catch up on my reading today. After I have my smoothie for breakfast because I'm pretending it's still morning. It's really not, but let's not tell anyone that. Actually, I think I need to get as much read as possible before Friday because Lucifer season 6 is coming out on Friday and I know I'll just binge the whole thing over the weekend. So yeah, I'll update you again at some point. So I just finished chapter 17 and Ead and Sabran had such a sweet moment together, so I just wanted to update on that. It was really nice. Okay, so it's Sunday the 12th now, which means the timeline to read part 1 of Priory is over, and I actually finished it last night, so just in time, since the part 1 was the longest. I'm pretty pleased with myself for actually staying on track. So the second part will only have 1 week to read it if I want to stick to the read-along schedule, but it's only 150 pages, so it's not so bad. Part 1 was 250 and I managed it fine. Priory is surprisingly easy to read for big epic fantasy like this, so that was a nice surprise. So even though there's lots of details and lots of names, it's still pretty easy to follow. Maybe I should go through part 1 at least somewhat my thoughts on East and West and the point of view characters so far. So there've been 4 point of view characters for now. I think there might be more in the future, I'm not sure. For the first part in the East you had Tane and Nicholas, and in the West you had Ead and Loth. Yeah, and I think currently West is definitely the side I'm way more invested in right now, just because of Ead. I'm really interested to see how her and the Queen Sabran's relationship develops. They had some really sweet moments towards the end of part 1, especially at the end. I don't want to spoil anything, but I really like them, especially how Sabran has gone from this impenetrable queen to actually showing some of her vulnerability to Ead at times, and it's cute. As for Loth, the poor guy was sent to the enemy kingdom by the spymaster of the queen because the spymaster is a dick and they basically sent him to die. I just feel bad for him and his friend on that journey because it just has this feeling of this can't end well. It still looks like it won't end well. I have no idea how it's gonna continue. I hope he gets to go back home at some point. East is kind of for me right now because I think Tane's story is kind of disconnected from everything else except for the very beginning. After that it's basically just been a training montage. So she's kinda separate from all the others, so even though I like her, I'm not as interested in her side of the story right now, but I'm sure everything will come together eventually. And as for Nicholas, I don't like him. Kind of a selfish dick. I can understand why he's like that, but I still don't like him because I don't like the decisions he makes because I know how they would affect other people because I know more of the story than he does, obviously. So yeah, part 1 has been an interesting time so far, and I'm excited to see where the story goes. By the way, I'm sitting here because I was hoping that Nebs would want to come play since she can hear me talking and that usually gets her interested. She's just judging me from her box. I thought I should do a small update since I've started part 2 this week. I'm a few chapters in, I'm not sure how much I have left, but I just had some thoughts. First of all, chapter 25, Tane and her dragon are so cute, like just hanging out together. The scene in that chapter was really just cozy. And then chapter 26, like that just went from 0 to 100 really fast. I wasn't expecting that, even though it was kinda obvious that something was going to happen, but still didn't expect things to go that brutal. Don't mind me, I'm super tired, but just wanted to update that I finished part 2 last night, so basically just in time, since like yesterday was Sunday, and that's when, if I were to stay on schedule, that's when we were supposed to finish part 2. So I'm on to part 3 tonight, which is only 100 pages, or maybe even less than that actually, so that should be a bit easier since part 2 was 150. But oh boy, part 2 was intense. That went from like 0 to 100 so fast. So much happened, and I'm worried for like every single character right now. And just Ead and Zabran are breaking my heart. First they're being cute, and then they broke my heart basically. And things are not going well for anyone. Curious to see how much worse things can get in part 3. I am not okay. That's why I'm sitting on the floor. And also I just wanted to show off my monster, because I can already tell that leaf is going to be beautiful, because it looks like it has those little gaps. I'm so excited for it to unfurl. Enjoy my little plant update. I can't even remember the last time I made an update. I have probably not done that all week. So it's Monday again, and I have finished part 3, and honestly there wasn't really even that much to update, because I feel like not that much happened in it. At least not as much as in part 2, which is probably why it felt kinda not as crazy. I feel like most of it was really just Ead at the Priory, and that's it. And there was a little bit of Niklais and Tane. Nothing much really happened. They were all just in those same places, but then things started really happening towards the end again. So I really look forward to part 4. I haven't even checked how long it is. But things should get interesting, especially for Tane, because I feel like something finally happened with her, because she's been kinda in the sidelines compared to the other characters when it comes to the main storyline. But her purpose is finally a bit more clear, so I'm excited to see where that goes. And okay, mini spoiler, but Ead and Lot are finally reunited, and that makes me happy. I look forward to maybe seeing some more West again, because there was 0 chapters that took place in the West, because none of the point of view characters were in the West. So it was just South and East. By the way, we should be getting some big mail today. We are waiting for our new terrarium, because Nebs will be getting a friend, or at least a neighbor. Since the terrariums will be pretty much next to each other, we are hoping to get a bearded dragon sometime in the next few months, so that's exciting. I felt bad for always filming these in the same spot, so I'm in our office now. Yeah. But yeah, I started part 4 last night, and stuff is happening so fast. But it makes me happy, because characters are being reunited after being apart for a while, and it makes me happy. Also, I love it when my suspicions about villains are confirmed, because I've gotten a surprising amount of suspicions correct, and I don't know if it's just that they are very unsubtle about hinting who's behind stuff, or if I'm just good at guessing. I have no idea. I'm really excited for this part of the book now. I probably should have filmed this last night already, because I read chapter 53 last night, but I am officially very deep in the Ead Zabran fan club. That chapter was very sweet. I have about 20 pages of part 4 left, and there's been some revelations. Interesting stuff happening. I think I might just snuggle up on the couch and finish part 4 now, so I can start part 5 a bit earlier than expected. Part 4 has been a wild ride. I feel like things have happened really fast, or sooner than I expected, even though when you really think about it, I'm this far into the book, so it's about time some things are revealed and like plot is moving forward and some things are resolved, but it still feels really fast. But I've still got like 200 pages left to, I think. If I'm 600 pages in now and the book is 848, I guess I have 248. So weird to have the terrarium in the background now, the new one. Can't wait to get to decorate it, but that's another video. Oh my god, I finished part 4. Things are getting really intense. I wish Sabran could have nice things. Excuse me if I look like a mess because I just showered. But yeah, I realized I haven't really done any kind of update about finishing part 4 other than like freaking out about finishing it basically. So I just wanted to talk about it a little bit, and also part 5 because things are starting to actually get exciting, as if things already haven't been exciting, but like plot is moving forward, things are constantly happening. Part 4 was like full of revelations and characters from who have been like separated finally got together and things really started moving and things are just really exciting. And also Tane is finally getting a more active role. Like, I'm almost 700 pages into the book and it feels like she's been kind of separated and sidelines from everyone until like part 5. I finally know her importance in the story. I'm not gonna tell you so I don't spoil it, but that was a surprise. She's actually kind of terrifying when you get to see her from like other characters' perspective because she's like this serious warrior girl. It's very intimidating and I'm into it. And also it made me happy that she finally got to be reunited with her dragon. I like the Eastern dragons because they're nice. I'm having such a good time with this book, if you can't tell. Hello. I've slept like maybe 4 hours, so sorry if I seem a little more out of it than usual. I thought I should give another update. So this is actually the final week of the Prioryathon, so I have only part 6 left, which is maybe 140 pages. I'm very close to being done with the book and I have no idea how everything is going to be wrapped up in those 140 pages because there's a lot going on. I really enjoyed part 5. I like that. I feel like I've said this already, that I like that Tane finally has like a more active role in the story. I love Naimatan. I swear the name is so difficult, I keep forgetting it. Naimatan, I think that's it. I love all of their interactions when they get to just be alone. Dragon and her rider being pals, it's cute. Part 5 was cool. I read it like freakishly fast. I finished it on Saturday already and I usually like aim to finish the parts by Sunday. I think I'll need to try to speed read a little bit so I'll finish on time again, because I know this weekend is going to be busy because my family is coming over to celebrate my birthday, which is actually on Wednesday, but it's just easier to celebrate on the weekend. And we are getting our bearded dragon on Saturday because my stepdad offered to give us a ride to pick it up. I'm so excited. I'll have my own little dragon. I don't know if I have had like any coherent thoughts throughout this whole reading vlog because this has gone like from whatever it was at first to just me fangirling about everything, because I think Priory is going to be one of my favorite books at this point. It's pretty safe to say since I have so little left. Let's have a little taste test because I bought some tea on my way home from my appointment and I have never tried this before. This is fused tea and it's like green tea that's mango and chamomile flavored. I have no idea if this is gonna be good or not. Please be good. Yeah, this is really sweet. Would recommend. I don't know if you can even get this outside Finland, but it's good. Sorry if I seem super low energy, I'm not feeling super good. But yeah, so I finished Priory a few days ago and it was really good. I would say it goes down as one of my favorite books, so I'm really glad I got around to reading it finally. I really liked the ending, even though it went pretty fast, but I also was probably partially because I thought the book would still have like 50 more pages to go. and then it just ended because I didn't realize the last like 40 pages were just like lists of characters and like glossary, like just vocabulary and stuff. So I thought there was still a bunch left, but then actually it ends at like the 800 page mark. That threw me off a little bit. But I still enjoyed the whole story and it was a great journey and yeah. I think most of the endings for the characters were left pretty open, and actually yesterday Imi did an Instagram live with Samantha Shannon, aka the author, about this book. It was like the final live stream for the Prioryathon, and Samantha did say that the endings were left pretty open just in case she decides to like write a sequel one day. I'm okay with that. Not that I minded anyway. I think the only one that was a bit confusing was Tane. It was just really strange. Sabra and Eard's story was a bit bittersweet, but I guess that's to be expected. I think the ending I was most upset about was Niklas. Because somehow his final chapter made me like tear up, even though I have like disliked him throughout the whole book. And then at the end it was like, well, I'm glad he gets to have a peaceful life now. I wasn't expecting that, and it confused me a lot. I'm glad all the characters got like pretty happy endings, I think. Just overall I really enjoyed this whole chonker of a book. It was a good time. I think sometimes some things felt like they happened a little bit too easily. Like if someone went to ask for help from someone, they might offer it like really without any struggles. But I guess if they had been less agreeable, then this book would be twice the size. I would recommend this book. Don't be intimidated by the size. Just divide it to parts like we did for the Prioryathon. It feels a lot more manageable. It's actually really quick to read, even though it's a lot, but it still didn't feel like too dense. Like for example, Game of Thrones books would take me forever to read simply because they made me tired. But this was just like, okay, I want to keep going, I want to know what happens next. And I got really invested in especially Aaron Sabran, as is probably very obvious from this whole video. I really liked Loth too. His story was basically just, okay, he's thrown into a really shitty situation and then he just keeps finding himself in other shitty situations. But he gets through all of it like a good boy. I think some of my favorite moments were when he had to interact with Najimaten, the Tanes dragon, because obviously he's from a country where everyone fears dragons and thinks they're evil, and then he's faced with this huge, gentle, giant dragon, and he's like, what do I do with this? Najimaten was great in general. Tane was a bit difficult one for me because like I like her, but her story felt a little disconnected from everything else for like most of the book. As I suspected, it all did come together in the end. Most of the time I was a bit like, when Tane's chapters came up, I was like, yeah, okay, cool, but I want to know what's going on elsewhere. I still like her, especially when she's hanging out with her dragon. So yeah, I hope this video hasn't been super long and boring for you guys. I think I'd like to do more like reading vlogs like this, because it like kind of forces me to think a bit more about what I'm reading. Also, I get to just kind of discuss it as I go. Yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this roller coaster of an experience reading through this massive book, and if you are watching this and have not read Priory yet, go do so, because I'm telling you it's great. Thanks for watching and please subscribe, and yeah, bye!